Hey, what's up, man? We've been hitting the books all crazy. We're on a 10-day winning streak. It's been ridiculous. If you go back and watch all the previous videos, you'll see all the receipts. I don't bullshit you guys. I show you my receipts. If I have a losing day, I'll tell you I have a losing day. People in the comments yesterday were saying, hey, wait a minute, you lied here and here. So I show you every single receipt that I throw out there, especially on the free picks. I always keep that like very apparent. Sometimes I don't throw out all the VIP picks because that's more like for VIP stuff. But stay tuned. I'm gonna hook you guys up with two plays, one in baseball and one prop for baseball, which is the no run first inning. I've been hooking you guys up for years now with free picks. If you guys are missing out on the free picks, then you go to link in the description, click on free picks. Again, we're on a 10-day winning streak, 7-4 yesterday on the VIP. I'm going to show you the receipts for that very quickly. But let me talk about exactly what happened on the free picks yesterday. So we went 1-1-1 on the free picks. So this one was a push, this was a win, this was a loss. 13-3 in the last 3 days. We took the Yankees and the Blue Jays under 7.5. I think they scored 7 total runs. I did talk about the Blue Jays with the bullpen, and sure enough, the bullpen collapsed, and they ended up losing this game. So I did also say to take the first 5 innings, and that was the push because they were, I think, 3-3 in the fifth, at the bottom of the 5th inning. So when they started the 6th inning, they were tied, and that creates a push. So 1 win, 1 push, 1 loss. That brings the record to a 13-3 in the last 5 days for the free picks. So very quickly, let me just show the receipts real quick. It's the Blue Jays and the Yankees on the under. I had 2 players to get a 1 hit, Corbin Carroll and Gabriel Moreno. They ended up coming through. I did a parlay right here for the under 1.5 no run first innings. So meaning they could not have scored 2 runs, and they both hit. The White Sox came through. I took this one live. I threw it out on the Discord. I put the Blue Jays at a plus 1.5. So like I showed you, like I mentioned, the Toronto Blue Jays did lose, but I also took them live at a plus 1.5, and that one hit. White Sox, I took them at a plus 2.5. They ended up winning by 2. And then this is the one I gave away, which was the Yankees and the Blue Jays under 7.5. And then I also put out there for the VIP on the Marlins. So overall, it was a very solid day. All right, one of the first things I like to look at is this page right here, which is called the best versus worst. And literally, we just look at the best teams that are very hot right now. As you can see right there, the Mets have crept up to number 1. The Rays have been dropped to actually number 2. But actually, they're tied for number 1, 9-3, 9-3 with the Mets and the Rays. The Cubs are 9-4. Padres are 9-4. Cardinals are 8-4. Now, this is based on the last 14 days. If you want access to this page, it's free. It's the 3rd link in the description. It doesn't ask you for an email or payment or anything. Once you get to this page, make sure you bookmark it, and then you refresh this every single day, and you'll see the updates just like I do. Now, for the worst teams, the Guardians have crept up to the worst team right now. Athletics won yesterday, and the Guardians, I believe, lost. So now the Guardians have finally took over the number 1 spot as the worst team because the Athletics won yesterday. The Twins are 3rd worst. Mariners are 4th worst, and then the Giants. So all these are the worst teams right now in baseball. Now, the reason this is very important, the reason I look at this is that I like to see which ones are the notable matchups. Again, this page is for free. It's the 3rd link in the description. So right here, it's saying the Braves are number 8, and they're going against the Twins, which are number 27. So that's a mismatch of 19 ranking points. Obviously, I don't want to take this one just to take it just based on that, but it is giving you that there's a clear indication that there's a mismatch here. I already did the research on the Braves for today, and I did not like it. So again, I don't take everything that I see on this page. It's just leans that are telling me where to look. Next thing I like to look at here is the sharp plays. Now, this is under the sharp edge. If you don't have access to the sharp edge, make sure you take advantage of that. It's 7 days for free, and the link is in the description for that. So right here, it says today's sharp plays. We're looking at the Pirates as a strong tier with a 7.5 confidence. The other one to look at is the Atlanta and Minnesota game that I just mentioned, but not on the money line. It's on the over, 9.5. And then also strong tier, 7.5 confidence. You can take a screenshot of this if you want. These are the reasoning why you should be looking at these games. But again, I don't take everything that I see on here. This is just one other direction that's telling me where to look. The other team that popped up was the Dodgers, but to me, it's super expensive. So I'm more than likely not going to touch that unless I can parlay it with something else. But the Dodgers, for me, the value is all gone, especially with the Rockies being at home. the Rockies actually have some sort of chance to win this game. So, for example, right there in the OPS, it does tell you Colorado's number 15, Los Angeles Dodgers is 21. And the Dodgers, just because it's a big name like the Yankees, but right now they have been struggling. This tool right here is called the convergence tool. It gives you the alignment, the opposed, and the no reads. So right here you can clearly see if you should even continue looking at this game. So for example, I was looking at the Dodgers, and then just because of this stuff right here, I did other research besides this, but this gives you a clear indication if you should even even continue to look or not. Now, here's one very contradicting play. This is actually the one I'm going to give you, but you have to take this with a grain of salt, okay? Because there is some contradictions. Now, the reason I'm going to take this is because I'm going to take them as an underdog play. So even though this data right here shows a lot of stuff is going towards Detroit, I still like it because it kept popping up on a lot of different reads. And like I said, I'm taking them as an underdog. I'm not taking them on the money line. I'm going to show you exactly how I'm taking them, and I'm going to break down that game. Just know that this is some contradictions here. Again, some people in the comments were saying, you said this and then you said that. If you pay attention to what I say, I always tell you, yes, this is exactly what I'm going with, or this is a lean, or this is, something is contradicting. I always make it very clear. Now, if you're not paying attention, that's not my fault. So again, be very, very aware that this is a contradicting play. I'm still taking it. I'm going to tell you exactly how I'm taking it, but be aware that it's a contradiction play. The other one I'm going to look at and give you guys is, this one's a little bit stronger, but there is one very slight contradiction in this no run first inning. And I'm going to explain that once I get here. If you haven't done so, guys, right before I get into those plays, make sure you get the free picks. The link's in the description. Make sure you subscribe. Also, if you want to check us out for 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, all those links are in the description. Also, if you want the Sharp Edge tool, it's 7 days for free. Plus, you get the Discord access as well. Here's all the plays that are available for today that I threw out in the VIP this morning already before starting this video. So again, if you want access to this, you can do 1 day pass, 1 week pass, 1 month pass, and we've been crushing the books 10 days in a row. All right, let's get into it, guys. So the Pirates, again, it's a very contradicting play, so just be careful. I did a huge update on this layout, and the reason is not just to look pretty. It's literally a reason. There's a reason behind the madness, and let me show you why. So right here it is saying that the home team 61-65 compared to Detroit 60-64. So that's the regular record for the season, and you can see they're pretty similar. The money line for Detroit is that they're favored. That means that an implied probability of 54%. If we look at the verdict, it's telling us that 4 different models agree that Pittsburgh Pirates are supposed to be winning this game with a 10-point edge. You can take a screenshot of this if you want. It just gives you the breakdown of everything that I'm looking at, everything that I've been pointing, that I said I was pointing to the Pirates. Now, the Sharp read also says that Detroit has a small road favorite around 115, and Pittsburgh is around a plus 110. So they are underdogs, but projection models lean towards the Pirates. So this is a sharper side on the Pirates as a home dog. And it is telling you take the Pirates at a plus 1.5 or better, but I don't like that. I'm actually going to tell you how I'm taking it. This gives you the full breakdown. I'm not going to go into super specific details in here, but you can just see how detailed this stuff is. So it gives you the reasoning. It tells you the starting pitcher. It gives you their ERA breakdown. It tells you the bullpen. It gives you the other reason on the other side. Also, what they've been doing for the bullpen on both sides. It gives you the final leans. And now look at this. Okay, this is where the difference comes in. You can see 49% of the bets are coming in on Detroit, and a 50% of the money is coming in on Detroit. The line is pretty much stuck at a plus 108. There is no line movement in this case. So it's literally a 50-50 pretty much money and bet percentage. And still, the Pittsburgh has not moved. So that's also an indication of Sharp just being on the Pittsburgh side. Now, if we go to the props market, you can see that it is saying that Pittsburgh is only supposed to score over 3.5, and these guys are going to go under 4.5. So the lean is towards Detroit. Win probability, again, is towards Detroit. Those are the contradictions. You can see the team records here, the team projections and everything. They're overall B grade and a B grade. The Tigers do have 80% on the road. So that is, again, another contradiction. They got Carmen Mlodzinski over here, and very decent FIP, very decent ERA. He's considered a B-grade pitcher, but this guy's no bum over here either with Valdez. If we break this down, which I'm not going to get into, you can literally break this down and go, lineup versus starter, and you can start looking deeply into this. So it is saying that they do have an edge on the OPS for Detroit. So again, some contradictions. Bullpen is slightly better for Pittsburgh. Pitching analysis overall is better for Pittsburgh, and the batting analysis is also better for Pittsburgh. So pitching is better, bullpen is better, starting batters are better for Pittsburgh. Yet all the data is, or a lot of the data is showing that Detroit should be winning the game. So the way I'm taking that game is going to be a +1. So Pittsburgh +1. What that means is that if they lose the game, as long as they don't lose by 2, so let's just say they lose by 1, we do a push. If they lose by 2, then we lose the bet. But obviously, if they win the game, then we win the bet. That's why I'm taking it with that little extra juice of a +1. All right, the no-run first inning, guys. This is the one. It's a very slight contradiction here, but I'm going to tell you why I overrode that contradiction. So right here, what we're looking at is Brandon Young, and you can see in the park right here is 57%. So that is a little bit of a contradiction here. Automatically, you normally would skip stuff like this. But in this case, I'm not going to skip it for the reasons. Baltimore is very strong over here. They're number 6 to get a run in the first inning. However, in the last 3 games, they have not gotten that. But in the overall season, the reason they're ranked number 6 is because in this season, they are hitting at a 75% hit rate, meaning they do get runs in the first inning. They just haven't done it recently. Tampa Bay Rays is pretty weak over here, ranked number 24th. In the last 3, 0%. Now, you can see there's no prior matchups for Tampa Bay to go against Brandon Young. So the reason this is actually looking stronger is because Tampa Bay offense is pretty weak. Even though this guy is weak over here in this park, these guys have recently been pretty weak. So that's the reason I like this so much. Even though there's a contradiction here, this offense is very weak. The strong offense over here is going against a very strong pitcher, 80%, 80%, 86%, 84%. So Shane McClanahan, I'm putting a lot of trust that he's not going to allow this strong batter here, which is Alonso. As long as he doesn't get a home run, we should be decent. So that's the 2 plays, guys. I'm going to go with the Pirates at a +1. I'm also taking Baltimore and the Rays on the no-run first inning. Let's keep this streak going. It's been amazing, 10 days in the green. If you haven't done so, check out the VIP picks. The link's in the description for that. Also, make sure to subscribe. Thank you guys so much. Let's have a great day.